Alright, today I have the heavier setup. It's supposed to be pretty chilly tonight and rainy. Basically, not pleasant weather to camp in, but you know, we live in the suburbs next to the highway. We work hectic jobs. Well, I work a hectic job and she just works a lot. So, you got to make yourself take a break, get out here in the woods, and rejuvenate. Tonight, we're going to be camping at an undisclosed location in the Adirondacks. It's a beautiful spot, and there's a campsite, beautiful little campsite, but it's not an official campsite. It's a well-established campsite. You know, I'm just not going to spread the word, you know. So, anyway, you'll get to see some of it, and hope you enjoy the video. By the way, if you want to do what I did, you can get National Geographic maps or go on Google Maps and look for remote ponds in the green zone in the Adirondacks. That's how I found this place. It's not in any guidebooks or anything like that. I found a lot of good paddling spots that way. So I'd encourage you to do that. And take care of it when you find those gems. Gems. Right, Coco? Alrighty then. Off we go to the wonderland of the Adirondacks. The undisclosed wonderland. That's not very nice, is it? That's not very nice. Only 0.3 miles on the portage today. That's a nice, easy trip down an old dirt road that is no longer open to traffic. Although, I think it's pretty clear that the DEC still drives on this road. Otherwise, it'd probably be more grown in by now. It's been closed for a few years, maybe more than a few. Oh, it's pretty cloudy over there. You can see the top of the mountain is shrouded in clouds. Thinking you guys probably, you folks, probably can't see that. I sure am glad to get out here, enjoy some quiet time in nature at one of my favorite camping spots. Like that, a party site. we're gonna be camping, whoop, way down around the corner there. I don't know what it is about this spot, but I just love it. I would like to hike around here sometime. There are hiking trails. There's a fire tower up on top of that mountain, which you can barely see the top of the mountain. You can't see the top of the mountain, I mean. And this mountain over here is very ledgy. It looks like it would have great views. One of these days, I'm gonna come here for a couple days and actually do some hiking. But today we're just gonna paddle, set up our hammocks, and spend a night in the woods. All loaded up and ready to go, with my good gal Coco and my trusty companion Dusty, otherwise known as El Diablo Poquito. We shall venture into the heart of the Adirondacks wilderness for a big adventure! Ha 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 ha! Tally-ho! I have thought from the previous videos that I should probably talk about the gear a little bit more. I usually just skim through it really quickly and don't say a lot. We have a lot of good gear that has taken us years to figure out what we really needed and what works well and is quality stuff. And also, it's pretty expensive, so it takes a while, unless you're rich, which I am not. I do want to give props once again to Hornbeck. Our Hornbeck boat is amazing. It's not the fanciest pack boat, but the weight is amazing. Our 14-foot boat weighs 24 pounds. Not a lot of leg room, as you can see. Maybe. You see that? Oh yes, and I was gonna do the video this way from now on. Learning curves, learning curves. Ah! I'm trying to figure it out. I want these videos to be fun and entertaining and educational. Anyway, the Hornbeck boat is awesome. He makes larger ones. I just don't want to carry the extra weight on my shoulders, especially for a lot of the stuff we do hiking into more remote bodies of water. If I could afford one, I would go with the 16 for longer trips, but sure is party here. I want to hike that mountain. That mountain, that's the one I want to hike, right there. Yep, right there. Yeah, that.
What's going on with your cup holder?
What is going on with my cup holder? The cup holder that I made for you is not actually mine, it's the one that I created with my mad skills. So it's been some months since I've been here, and the fire pit is just the way I left it. Pretty psyched. This is a special spot to me. It's kind of like my own spot, even though I know that's not really true. It's a great ledge for swimming off of. I may try to get in a last swim of the season today. It's much warmer than it was supposed to be, which is awesome, except for I packed a lot of extra cold weather stuff that I don't think I'll need. That's all right. I came prepared. I didn't have to carry it for too long. It's been an interesting night so far. Took a long while to find a good spot for our hammocks and get them set up. Look at this guy. You see him? And then if we back up over here, there's this guy. The other guy was peeking out of his little cave there. I almost stepped on this guy. Earlier I almost stepped on the other one. And yeah, I gotta be careful here. Super cool salamanders. And anyway.
Rain, 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 rain. Rain, 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 rain. What do you think, Dust? I do believe someone wants his HUNGRYBREAKFASTTIME. It's after 11 a.m. We slept a good long while. We went to bed at 2. Not sure how we managed to stay up so late. Drinking lots of tea. Lots of tea? I like tea. Jolly good.
Okay, so last night, this is what we slept in. Quest tarp, which I have lifted up for the purposes of the video. Got some shock cord here to make tensioners. They're not really necessary with this tarp, I guess, but they still do help. Yep. Outdoor Vitals hammock with their hammock sock, bug net sock. I made myself a black bishop bag out of an old dry bag there. So I just melted a hole in here and then put some gear tape, I can't remember what brand, but around the hole. And it works great. And right now I've got a jacket. In there. So this is how you open the bug net. You know, it's a pretty good idea, but it's really hard to get this bug net closed when you're trying to go to bed. It's hard to do it from the inside. I can never get it quite all the way closed. So I know some people I think Dutchware has one with a zipper on it. That is the Outdoor Vitals underquilt. And it's pretty nice. My only complaint is there's some spots where the down, I just can't seem to get any down into it. And I feel like they could have, or maybe it's their quality control. Maybe one of the baffles doesn't have enough down in it. There are a couple of them actually, because I've tried to move it by hand and stuff, and it still just doesn't fill up. So, Storm Loft 30-degree underquilt by Outdoor Vitals. It was great last night in 40 degrees. We'll see if it can be good in 30 degrees. I'm skeptical. And I've been happy with it so far, though. It's kept me warm and comfortable and toasty. I said warm already, didn't I? Okay, so here is the Outdoor Vitals gathered end hammock. It's 11 feet long. I don't know if they still have this one. I slept very comfortably in it. At some point my feet did flop right out of it, but that would happen with any open hammock like this, I think. I don't know for sure, because I haven't tried any other open hammocks. But you can see the Black Bishop bag up there. That's pretty handy. Got that idea from Shug. Got a gear loft. It's a minimal one. Anyway, the fabric on this Outdoor Vitals hammock is pretty soft, comfortable enough to sleep on, unlike my other hammock, which is quite coarse. Really old Hennessy. I'm sure he doesn't probably use that fabric anymore, but yeah, this is the Ultra Light Solo Plus hammock. Anyway, it has a built-in stuff sack, but I'll tell you, it's wearing out pretty quickly along the cords, and I'm actually careful when I close it. I close it by holding it like that, supporting the fabric, but I think it just wasn't sewn that well around here. So I don't really use that. I put all my hammock stuff into the Black Bishop bag. So this is more of a storage pouch. I wish I'd put my glasses in it last night because they fell out and hit a rock. Now they're all scratched up. Anyway, Outdoor Vitals hammock does the trick. I've got an adjustable Dutch wear ridgeline on there. I can't remember what you call this particular style of ridgeline. It's different than a whoopee sling. It does slip some. That may be because I don't know how to lock it up yet. There may be a way to lock it up. Maybe I can put a slippery half hitch or something in it, but it slips some if I touch this area when I'm in the hammock. Otherwise, it's great, and I really got the perfect hang there with that, the angle that worked best for me. It was probably my most comfortable night in the hammock. So that's pretty sweet. I have 2 Hennessy's, and I don't think I've ever slept quite as comfortably in either of those. I hate to say it because they're much nicer hammocks, but hey, whatever does the trick. It just goes to show you don't have to spend $1 billion on a hammock to sleep well. Now, let's come over here and see what Coco has. What does Coco have? Coco has the Deep Jungle Hennessy hammock.
which I never slept comfortably in. This was my first hammock. Oh, she's got it wrapped up right now. My first hammock. And it could just be my lack of experience. Well, I can't get a good angle here. It could just be my lack of experience. She's gonna open that up. She's got it wrapped up in the under
Got a
quilt
little bit of
protector.
water issues.
We took our kitchen tarp, which is the Kelty Noah's Tarp 12 for this trip. Took our kitchen tarp and put it over the top of her other tarp because it was raining pretty good. And then pulled the Hennessy tarp out from under it after we had it set up, and you know, it transferred a lot of water. So
Plus, as I learned, you really need to have a good pitch, as Elijah's told me.
yeah, it's important to have a good pitch when it's raining. She had it kind of flattened out a little bit, a little too much. Kind of actually up on this ledge here. She had one side of the tarp up there. And there's a lot of moss. I'm thinking that moss added to the water that was running down the inside of her tarp. So, anyway, no disrespect to Hennessy. It probably wasn't the tarp that failed. It was probably just user error. Learning curves. There's a lot of learning curves. Takes a while to learn everything. Yeah, I like this underquilt protector, and this came with the Hennessy Super Shelter. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Oh, that just stays like that, huh?
No, you can undo it.
Really? How?
Got a loop to you.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's got this toggle here. I guess I knew that. I don't know. I'm not awake yet. Haven't had my coffee. I need my coffee. So, she's got the Outdoor Vitals. God, I'm doing that a lot this morning. Outdoor Vitals. I believe it's still the Storm Loft. Yeah, Storm Loft 0 degree underquilt. And it looks super puffy. You got quite a bit of condensation in this.
I wonder whether it's also dripping.
I think it's condensation, but could be. Do you want to take it off?
Wow, it is pretty wet.
Let's take this off, huh? Yes. Takes a while to learn all these things. Yeah, so anyway, a little condensation in the underquilt protector. You know, but this thing, it's good. It's a good thing. It was raining hard last night, and also she needed to use it to protect her hammock setup from the water that was dripping off the tarp. And I can see there's still some drips.
Yeah, it's still dripping.
Yeah, so, oof. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I ain't got that in my hammock gear tarp, I tell you what. So, Outdoor Vitals, 0 degree, Storm Loft. I haven't gone over it in depth, but I feel like this one came in nice, well made. I don't think it has some of the issues with the down tubes not having enough fill in them. Of course, it is a 0 degree underquilt as opposed to a 30 degree. But she slept pretty well. She said her arms get sore when she sleeps in the hammock, but not due to shoulder squeeze. So We gotta figure that out, but generally she slept warm and comfortable in her Hennessy Deep Jungle. This has some nice fabric on it. Much nicer than my old Expedition. My Expedition is kind of vintage. It's like retro vintage, you know? It's like cool, man, groovy. She's got, this one came with a good organizer, a gear loft, gear organizer, Ridgeline organizer. Yeah, it's better than the one in mine, but it's not as good as my hammock gear one. Anyway, it's a good hammock. This Deep Jungle, a little on the heavy side, but it does the trick. Right, Coco?
Mm-hmm. Except for my arm. Well, that might not be the hammock. Got to figure out how to sleep right.
Don't blame Tom. Don't blame Tom. Here's our camp of tarps. And we're packing up. Dusty slept in the storm loft top quilt with his papa. Oh, as did Coco. She also slept in the storm loft top quilt. But he also has his own quilt built by Hang Tight. I believe that's what they're called. I found them on Etsy. It made him a little down quilt at a reasonable price. It was a hell of a night last night. Didn't get to bed until 2. Hanging a bear bag at like 1:30 in the morning. It rained a lot. Coco had issues with her tarp, so we had to deal with that. And the gravity filter wasn't working. We finally got that working. Not sure how, but kept kind of back flushing it. And it rained and rained and rained and rained. But it stopped for a little while. We actually had a clear spot of stars over the lake here. We got to sit out by the fire pit and boil water on the old alcohol stove. Look at this fire pit over here. We didn't even get to use it. It was raining too much. I didn't feel like dealing with the hassle. Oop, don't forget my toothpicks. That's a nice fire pit though. I don't know if you can tell from this picture, but it was built properly. There's a, in the piney woods like this, you get God, I can't say piney woods. That's what Shug always says. Sugar McDougal's. You get a lot of duff, and there's a lot of pine roots and spruce roots and hemlock roots, and they all have oils in them that will burn. So laying a foundation for the fire pit is an important thing, so that you don't start you a forest fire in your favorite camping spot. Here we are getting ready for breakfast. There's Coco's fabulous Helinox chair with some Reflectix in the back and a Thermarest sit pad on the bottom. Them chairs is kind of chilly. Now I've got what I'll call the Shug stool. Yep, $20. Jansport. Does the trick. I don't find them Helinox chairs too comfy. You like your Helinox chair, Coco?
makes my butt a little numb. So
Is
that's
it-
why I have the cushion.
Cause it like squeezes it too
I
much.
don't know what happens.
Squeezes your big old bum too much.
I don't have a big bum. But I don't know what happens. It gets a little numb.
Well,
We haven't quite figured it out, but this seems to work quite well.
is it $100 worth of comfort?
If I had to redo it, haven't found any chair that really works for me.
Wanna try mine?
Kind of picky. No. In the gorge, we plowed through a couple of sizable haystacks and headed for a small eddy. River left. Crossing the current, the Freedom, heavy with water, was stable compared to other canoes, and it turned sharply into the eddy without yawning. Both good signs. While we bailed, however, we decided to ask Mad River to make me a spray cover, a nylon jacket that attaches.
What's going on here?
We started cockpits over the bow and stern.
That doesn't look good. Looks like the pine beetles have been at it.
They carried their own difficulties from which add
Bummer.
uncertainty.
It's time to pack it up. My least favorite time. Actually, my second least favorite time. My least favorite time and her least favorite time is unloading the car. And then we're going to have a bunch of wet stuff to hang up. What I'll say about that is Sugar McDougal's. Now I'd like to play you a little song. A song I composed. The way that was not a composition, that was an improvisation.
I was noticing how much gray hair I have in my mustache and beard. That seems new to me. Damn, I'm getting old. That sucks.
Goodbye, lovely campsite. We had a wonderful time. Laying in our hammocks in the rain. That's pretty much what we did. Besides drinking tea.
I love the ferns on the rocks. Bye, awesome pond that we enjoy.
Dusty.
See you next year, maybe. Say bye, Coco.
Bye.
Say bye, Dusty. There you are. There you are. Say bye-bye. Huh? I broke the law. I didn't stop. Oh boy, here we go. Drove long ways to come out and sleep in the woods. Listen to the beaver smack his tail. It was an enjoyable sleep though. Nice foliage to look at today. It's not raining now. We are very grateful. We're hoping that we can get packed up and in the car before it starts raining again. And I will thank the thunder beings and the cloud people for giving us an easy passage. Yes, indeed.